All right, today we're going to talk about how to tell if your ex is happy with their new rebound. This is perhaps a really unique way of looking at this particular circumstance. Most of the time, people who are coming into our environment are obsessed with figuring out if their ex is in a rebound relationship. Well, people who are probably interested in this video is looking more on a long-term basis. How do I know that this rebound relationship is going to stand the test of time and go from rebound territory into successful relationship territory? So what we've done is we've put together 5 real signs based on real life people who have been trying to get exes back who are in rebound relationships that kind of show that their ex is happy in their new rebound relationship, and that rebound relationship is on the cusp of turning from something reboundish to something realistic. Sign number 1, they won't give you an in to talk to them. Okay, this is always a heartbreaking thing for many of our clients to experience, but it does experience. Your ex has moved on to someone new, they appear to be happy, but ultimately sometimes the only way to truly tell if they're happy is to reach out to them and start a conversation with them. Research has indicated that usually an ex who has moved on to someone else who's in a rebound relationship will talk to you and have a good rapport with you if they're unhappy with that current relationship that they're with. Yet there is the opposite ex who will sometimes you'll reach out to them thinking they're in a rebound relationship and they will respond to you, but usually it's to say, don't contact me again. So sometimes it could be just simply them blatantly saying, don't contact me again, or they'll simply say, I don't think it's fair to the new person if I'm talking to you. I hope you understand. We've seen both variations. We've seen some really rude variations. So if your ex is basically cutting off communication altogether, there's a couple of ways that we recommend that you respond to this, but it's usually a sign that they're trying to make sure that that rebound relationship has enough air to breathe. So let's quickly go on a little bit of a tangent here. How do you respond if an ex is saying this? Well, I think the way I would respond is simply asking a question. Is that how you really feel, or is your current girlfriend or boyfriend saying that? Sign number 2, their rebound is no longer a rebound. Perhaps the most obvious sign, but usually when a rebound becomes less of a rebound and more of an authentic relationship, well, it's a good sign that they are progressing in a positive way. So what is the definition of a rebound relationship? Well, really there's 2 criteria that you want to look at. The first one is how quickly they moved on to this new person after your breakup. Usually if it's very quickly, then that's a sign of it potentially being a rebound relationship. The second point is how long they've been together with this person. We're finding that the average rebound relationship will last between 5.2 months-ish. So if your ex is with this new person for, let's say, a couple of years and you still think this person is rebound, I've got bad news for you. This person is no longer a rebound relationship. So simply looking at the time that they've been together can be a great insight into helping you understand how happy they are in that new relationship. Real quick, I want to say that if you're new to this YouTube channel or you're trying to figure out what you should be doing to get your ex back and you're trying to learn if you even have a chance in your specific circumstance, probably the smartest thing for you to do is actually stop by our website, www.exboyfriendrecovery.com, or take our Ex Recovery Chances quiz that can be found at exboyfriendrecovery.com. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, taking that free quiz is super easy to do. All you have to simply do is look in the description link below this YouTube video and click on the link you see there. It will take you directly to the quiz where you can fill it out and get an easy answer on what you should be doing going forward and overall what your chances look like in your specific situation. All right, so let's get you back to the video. Sign number 3, the new person isn't threatened by you at all. Let's say, for argument's sake, that you do get back in touch with your ex who's in a rebound relationship, and they are very responsive towards you to the point where maybe they're even asking you to hang out. Usually what happens in these circumstances is as a result of the being there method, as a result of your secure tendencies rubbing up against the new person's insecure tendencies, that person will generally implode. And the beauty is you don't have to do anything wrong. You're just simply being friends. You're kind of friend zoning yourself on purpose. But if that person is not threatened at all, isn't exhibiting any type of anxious behaviors at all, it's usually not a good sign. We know that oftentimes, especially with avoidance, which we believe most of our clients' exes are, they're pairing up with anxious people. Usually those two will butt heads eventually, but there's great chemistry at the beginning. So at the beginning, the anxious feels great that they have someone that they can love to the extent. The avoidant feels great that they have someone loving them to the extent, but eventually it becomes too much for both parties. Yet the one fly in the ointment here is if your ex has moved on to a rebound relationship with a secure person. Generally speaking, they love the secure person because the secure person knows enough to sense the room of when they need to pull back. And usually, what happens when we try to do something like the being there method is you're talking to your ex. You're not necessarily flirting with them, but you are kind of gaining rapport and emotionally opening up to them, getting them to emotionally open up to you. We're kind of counting on the fact that the new person is going to let some of their anxious tendencies out. So if they're not doing that, it's not a great sign. It doesn't mean that they won't break up with the new person and come back to you if that's what you want, but it does mean that the new person is not threatened by you, and that kind of is a recipe for a relationship that can thrive. Sign number 4, they do the bare minimum in conversations with you. All right, so this is kind of like an extension of the very first sign, except your ex does give you an in to talk to them. They just don't allow the conversation to unfold in a natural manner. So there's a certain give and take when it comes to texting or talking on the phone, just conversations in general. There's a certain flow to every conversation. But it's really hard to have a meaningful conversation with someone if they're only responding with one-word text messages, or they're simply answering your questions and not asking you any in return. If you're getting a lot of these signals from your ex, it is usually an indicator that they're just responding to you out of pity. They're responding to you because they want to be nice. They don't want to hurt your feelings. And they're doing it usually because they are happy with the relationship that they're currently in. They don't want to do anything to jeopardize that. So if you're trying your best to get rapport built with your ex and they're just not very responsive towards you at all, they are responding, but they're not allowing conversations to unfold, not a good sign. And finally, sign number 5, the investment into the rebound is substantial. I talk a lot about how to gain commitments throughout this YouTube channel, especially on a relationship dynamic. We have found that there are usually 6 main factors that will help you gain a commitment from anyone. How satisfied you are in the relationship, how much you have invested into the relationship. Is there a better alternative out there than the person you're currently with? Scarcity, urgency, fear of loss. These are the 6 main factors that kind of create the synergistic aspect of commitment. Yet one factor stands above all, and that is investment. Generally speaking, if you have invested a lot into a relationship, invested a lot of time, money, energy, emotions, you are willing to overlook some of those other factors to currently stay in your current predicament or situation. So if your ex has substantially invested into this new person, and usually this can include trips and doing things that they never did with you, sometimes engagements, sometimes taking them on spontaneous trips, those kind of investments that require substantial time. I think even looking at the overall rate in which they're texting you, if you're finding you're having a lot of trouble and they're investing most of their time into the new person and talking to them, it's usually a sign that they're incredibly happy in their current relationship. And it doesn't take much. The cause and effect here is simple. Usually people who have invested a lot of time, the effect is that they're happy, and it kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because they're happy, they want to invest more time so they can continue feeling the way they're currently feeling. So those are the 5 main factors that we want you to look at if your ex is in a rebound, to help you understand if your ex is happy in that rebound.